All right. Letting this go on for a little bit before we get comfortable here. Um Denny
Bam,
Blanco. Hold up. Let me do this right.
damn,
Let
Bam.
me do this right. Um all right, here we go. Denny Blanco, Randy J. Cruz here. It's in the game podcast. Wednesday night, April 17th. Just finished watching the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers in the play-in tournament. We now know Miami will be number 8 or try to get number 8 with the winner of Atlanta and Chicago, but we do know Philadelphia will get the number 2 New York Knicks beginning Saturday night at the Garden. So, we got that out the way. So, Denny Blanco, where you want to start with? Knicks Philly or recapping Miami and Philly and why and how Philly was able to defeat Miami tonight?
Let's start from where they are to where they're going. Right, let's go
That's
there.
right.
So yeah, shout out to Joel Embiid, my first Joel, playing on that one legged one leg, that one knee, killing himself out there. Gave you 23 points and 15 on one leg.
Mhm.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Tyrese Maxey doing his thing, and the man of the night, Nicolas.
Batum.
Nicholas. Nicholas saved us. Or
Hmm.
should I say saved the Sixers? Wow,
How
Tobias
about
Harris.
us? He didn't save us.
That's what I'm saying. Good
He
point.
owed us
Right.
here.
He ain't save y'all. He ain't save
Nah,
y'all.
he didn't save
Tobias
y'all.
Harris, 9 points. Wow. That's very interesting. But
Hmm.
the Sixers live on to fight for a couple more games against your Knicks. The Heat. Wow. What can I say? Looks like Jimmy hurt himself, and I don't
He
know what.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy hurt himself. Well, what is that? Is that a new statement going into the playoffs or in the playoffs that playoff Jimmy hurts himself? He always hurts himself somewhere around the playoffs or somewhere going into the playoffs. He hurts himself, but hopefully he gets better. Tyler Hero was doing his thing, and then bam,
Hmm.
10 points. I need more.
Yeah. I mean, just I've been trying to put the word out there on. So we are live on Twitter, X. We are live on YouTube. We are live on even Instagram Live. So anybody out there that wants to chime in, tap in, get a question, comment about anything going on with this game, Philly, Miami, or the NBA playoffs in general, hit us up, let us know in the chat. We would love to hear from you. I know you just don't want to hear me and Denny talk all night. Gonna have
Speak for
our
yourself.
homegirl Mill from Big Nick Energy coming on in a bit. Get this Philly New York Knicks first round matchup up and running. So again, live on Twitter, YouTube, IG live, testing out some new things. If you got a question, comment, again, any feedback, we'd love to hear from you. um so yeah, 1 minute Philly's down by a lot, and then Jimmy gets hurt, and then in the first half it's pretty much Miami's way, and then you look up in the second half, and they kept chipping and chipping and chipping, and just you know when Embiid's not hot or like Maxi took a while to get going, it's your role players like a Nick Batum that steps up at the right time, and Oubre to a degree, like you know, right place, right time, right atmosphere. And I kept seeing when they kept chipping away, I was like, is Miami really gonna lose this? Because Miami's a very, very great, annoying team. They got these role players. I know Jimmy got hurt. We did not get enough from Bam out of bio tonight. You also got the Kyle Lowry factor. Once the Miami Heat guy now going up against the Heat in this playing tournament. So there was extra motivation from him and the Philly squad. But I mean, I think Miami. The big question is how Jimmy is going to be in this game against Atlanta and Chicago coming up later in the week. Does he get enough time to rest? How significant is that injury? I know he came back and played and finished it out. I don't know,
Well,
but
what happened? What happened with Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier? They were out.
Rozier neck spasms. I'm not sure what happened with Duncan. But yeah, now you put that to the forefront. Yeah, I forgot Duncan did not play. So losing Duncan and Terry Rozier are two vital pieces to your roster. So if they played, this could have been Miami's way, but they had the game. They were up by 12-14 in the second half. But your unsung hero like a Nick Batum saved the day for Philly, and now they get to go on
Nicholas.
to New York.
Nicholas. Yes, he saved the Sixers, and I don't understand why it took all of that. Well, actually, I do understand.
Mm,
The first Noel Joel is playing on one leg, so I mean, I'm hopefully this gives him some rest. But to my Saturday,
mhm.
we're on and popping. Not enough
Yep.
rest. So it's not going to be enough rest. We're going to get right to it. That needs going to be it's going to be need to be put on ice, and he needs to be rested because
Yeah.
when are we gonna be at MSG? When is it gonna be? What time? What time is it? How much time does he have? Like, I just want to know.
Saturday.
I just want to know what time to the exact moment that is 5 p.m. No, it's not that early. No, maybe
Saturday, 6 p.m.
6
Game
p.m.
one, Philly, New York. Can't wait. And I know a lot of people um have been waiting to chime in and like just really get this thing going because the Knicks being number two, I'm a very happy man when I see that. Um, because I think the Knicks can really go far. I know they don't have Randall, but I think they could really go far. And I don't want to keep repeating it, but I kept saying that I believe they can make the conference finals at the beginning of the year. They got a really good shot at doing it because one, Embiid, is he really 100%? We don't know. Jimmy Butler is not 100% now. So obviously we don't want the injuries, but when things like that happen,
Play
you
schedule.
you you got to play the game,
Play
you
the
got to play
schedule.
it out because we miss pretty much over 50% of our starters for the majority of the year, and somehow we are the 2 seed. So play the game, and gonna be a fascinating series with you know Philly, New York. I'm glad they
In
got
terms
home
of
court.
fascination, in terms of
That's
you
gonna
said
be um
fascinating. You said
yeah.
fascinating in terms. Give me the fascination about this. What's so fascinating about it? I don't think it's gonna be fascinating at all. I think it's gonna be real quick, real painless. Folks are gonna be sent home right down the I-95.
Right. So you're saying right at the back that's gonna be what, a quick series with this Philly New York,
I
like a
give it.
gentleman sweep, like
I
we're
give it
talking
4. I give it 4. I give it 4-1.
Knicks,
4-1 Knicks
4-1
light.
Knicks,
Yeah,
light.
4-1 Knicks light. Yeah, yeah. We don't have a healthy Joel. You put him out there, they're gonna put him in that pick and roll, baby.
Hmm.
They're gonna put him in that pick and roll, and you're facing. Make
Hmm.
sure I got my Paul Heyman situated. Hold on now. Let me just
Oh
make sure
boy.
because
Oh,
yeah,
go,
because
go
you
get
know
go
what I
get
mean.
your ladies and gentlemen ready.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're talking about first
Hmm.
team All NBA. I don't care what they really say if
Right.
he gets it or not. Jalen Brunson, you think first team All NBA Jalen Brunson come Saturday. You
Hmm.
haven't seen this. You haven't seen Hoodie Jalen. You haven't seen Hoodie Jalen. I don't even think you ready for Hoodie Jalen. That's just showing up on Saturday at 6 p.m. Are you ready?
Listen, I'm ready, bro. I'm
He said,
ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Are
Um,
you ready? Are you seriously ready at this point? The matchups are clear. We're
yeah.
gonna get clear. I imagine they're going to put Kelly Oubre
Mm.
on Brunson.
Oh, so Kelly Oubre got the Brunson assignment.
Off rip. I don't
Off
think they're
rip.
gonna be silly enough to put Tyrese on him early.
Hmm.
You put Kelly on him first, then maybe you get Tyrese. You're gonna get some. He's gonna see some Nicholas. He's gonna see some. He's gonna see some Nicholas. Definitely see some Nicholas Batum.
Hmm.
I saw them try to use him early on in the game
Right.
against the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. So
Hmm.
then I think Buddy healed, but when it's all said and done, they're not going to put Kyle Lowry on him. That's going to be barbecue chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it's a matter of what Jalen decides to do, how he wants to go to work, mid range or on the wing. Kelly, well, I mean, he pulled out Nicholas. He pulled them out to the wing and went to work. And then Kelly Oubre, he was going right to the paint every time. So this is gonna be a I think 4-1. I don't expect this series to go any further than that. Hopefully the Knicks handle their business and don't waste time. Right. Don't play with their food.
So as we speak, we got the Bulls in Atlanta going on first quarter. We do have I'm not sure if you can see the number, probably only me. We got over 700 people either in here or just tapped in, and it keeps going up.
What up?
So any of you guys out there that got a question, feedback, any comments regarding NBA playoffs, we got Philly and New York in round 1 officially. Anything, hit us up in the chat. We got Mill from Big Nick Energy coming in a hot second. So while I do all this promo stuff, let me get her on. If you want to start off with her, go ahead, but give me 1 second. Hold on.
Mill.
There we go.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I love the energy. I love the branding with the Knicks hat. My guy over here to the left, he's not. He's a New Yorker, but he don't rep the Knicks like we do. Definitely not.
You got to put on a Knicks hat.
Well, Randy, that's what we're gonna do. Well, Randy, you send me one through the Amazon Prime, and we good money.
We're gonna get you a Knick hat for this long-awaited postseason run we're gonna have. Right, Mill? Long run right now, right?
Yep, all the way to the finals.
Look at that. See, not even conference finals. I think she meant NBA finals.
We can get there. I mean, yeah, I'm confident, but look, I'm not gonna say we're not gonna get that far. I do think that we have the potential. Obviously, it's gonna be tough. We're shorthanded. You know that.
Yes, that's right.
But and I hate to play the regular season game, but that last game against Boston, I know it was only the first 3 quarters. They had the starters in and we had our starters in, but I don't know. We looked pretty good out there against them. We really dominated those first 3 quarters. I know it's regular season, guys. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but I think it'll be a good series if we make it that far. We will to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm not. I ain't afraid of no ghost. I mean, if y'all got to face the Boston Celtics, then you face the Boston Celtics. It is what it is. I'm confident in that one guy, Jalen Brunson. How has Jalen been for you anyway? And did he actually exceed expectations since coming to New York, coming to New York and playing for the New York Knicks? I'm actually asking you.
For me?
Yeah, the question for you, Mills. Yeah. I'm not even gonna ask Randy. Forget Randy. He's not here. It's all you. It's all you, Mel.
No, I trust me. I'm trying to see all these questions and comments.
Yeah, it's not. Forget Randy. Forget it. Randy's not here. It's just me and you right now.
Yeah, I got you.
So talk to me about Jalen Brunson, man. Him coming to the Knicks. Talk to me about him.
I mean, he's just been incredible. You know that. I saw you pulling up the receipts the other day with a bunch of people talking ish about the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, all of that. But yeah, he's been incredible. I definitely think he's exceeded everyone's expectations. I mean, I'm sure there were some fans who thought he was capable of doing, probably averaging 25 a game. He's doing more than that right now. In the MVP conversation for sure. I don't think he's going to win it just because, he's up against, the big dogs, so
Joker.
I don't think,
yep.
Yeah, exactly. He's up against those guys and he definitely should get some consideration for it for sure. What he's doing is incredible. He's averaging nearly 29 a game and he's pretty much put this team on his back. This team has been through so much the past few months with losing Randall, losing OG, going through trades. For some games we wouldn't have anyone and it would just be him, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo, and he would be lighting it up. And he really had a good stretch to end this season. I mean, he had, I believe, back-to-back 40-point games. I mean, so many 40-point games that last stretch. And 61-point game. Even though we didn't get the win, that was still an incredible game to watch him put up 61, nearly breaking Melo's record. I mean, that was just insane.
Hey, Denny, Mill knows her shit. All right.
That's why she's in. That's why she's on It's in the Game podcast, because she's gonna put us. She's gonna put us on.
I could talk about Jalen Brunson for hours, man.
Oh, this guy, Mill. This guy right here.
Yeah, I got that too.
Oh yeah,
cool.
That's my new co-host, right? Little Brunson.
I love it.
Listen, I think, and again, I don't want to sound like the homer here, but I really think that deep down, to be honest, I think the Knicks have a really great chance of making the conference finals. I've been saying that from day one, and then you could say it. I've been saying it even before they got the OG trade. I'm like, this team right here.
Yeah.
Looking on the landscape, I think they had the potential to make the conference finals. When the OG trade happened, this man texted me. He was a little iffy about it. Respectfully, that I don't know. I love Quickly and Barrett, and I said, "Yo, this guy OG is a defender. He's a two-way player. He's like, if I can't get Kawhi Leonard, this is the guy I want on my team." Well, he's gonna guard your best player 48 minutes, not get tired, still young, and I think that was like the missing piece for this Knicks run. And listen, I wish we can go back to the January Knicks where they were like 10-2, 12-2, whatever. And I mean, the OG's they're like 20-3 when OG plays.
Exactly
so that's a big thing coming into the playoffs, right?
It's huge. It's really huge. I mean, his impact has been amazing to watch. It's not necessarily an offensive impact. It's more primarily defense. We know that's what he's known for. So you really can't see his impact through the box score. If you're looking at it, you might see he has 10, 12, 15 points, and you're not thinking that's not a lot. But it's truly, that's not the case at all. What he does on the defensive end, it's incredible for the Knicks. There's a reason we're 20-3 with him in the lineup, because he changes everything for us on the defensive end. And, I'm really glad we have someone like him on the team who, can guard the best opponent every night. Before that, it was Grimes who we would depend on to be guarding. If it was a guard, someone around his height, we'd be depending on Quentin Grimes to be guarding the best opposing player. And now we actually have someone with length, with height, with muscle that will do the job. I mean, he's one of the best defenders in the league. We have him on the Knicks, and that's going to be huge for us in this year's postseason.
Mm-hmm. Denny, before you go, I'm going to put up these comments here. So my boy Heck on IG said, Philly in 6. I think what he's saying, right? 6 and 6. It's the Knicks, y'all. Yo, Heck, man, I got love for you, man. But the other way around, it could be New York at 6. Denny said gentlemen sweep, Knicks in 5. But I don't. Again, not to sound like a homer, but I don't see Philly winning. Could be competitive. Embiid's health is still up in the air, but as long as you got Jalen Brunson on that roster, I said last night, you got a fighter's chance to win any series. And I think the role players that Denny mentioned last night with the Dantes, with Josh Hart, with Hartenstein, like everybody has their own role. And Brunson being the motor, is going to control all that. So, Heck, I love you, but I got New York either in 5 or 6.
Why would you put your future on that one knee? I don't understand. No, you don't want to do that. You want a healthy knee. You want 2 healthy knees going into the playoffs. You don't just want one knee.
Really risking it.
Yeah, no. It's so Mel. Is there any team you do fear
in the Eastern Conference? No. Like I said before, taking on the Celtics, I think it'll be a competitive series as well.
Yeah.
Nobody in the East. Randy, listen.
No, because listen, to her point, like everybody the last couple of days, do we want Philly or Miami? And it's like, listen, you're gonna get one of those teams. They're great teams. We're not, like Dante said, we ain't ducking no smoke. We're not like, I prefer this, prefer that. Like, we're not going to be a team that's going to be like, let me get the 3rd seed instead and not play hard and get number 2.
Exactly.
Why would New York get number 2? But listen, you get number 2 because if you make it to the conference semis, you got home court, and that's a very important thing because we didn't have home court last year against Miami, and that kind of hurt us. So just getting home court in round 2 against a potential Milwaukee without Giannis for a little bit, or potential Indiana Pacers, which we've had success against in this season. So that's going to go a long way. So that's why I was happy they got number 2 for this reason right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So wait, so clearly it's Denver or bust. Wait, it's Denver or bust. Is that right, Randy and Mill? Denver or bust? Well, listen, I'm the only guy out here that's just on the limb watching this soap opera. I have no fight in the game. Just want to make sure that's clear. The NBA Whisperer has no fight in the game. I'm just happy that my family, my new family, Mill, and my old family, Randy, are about to witness something special. I think you're about to witness the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals the way this is going, and you have to play the schedule. You know they're going to talk about injuries and so forth and so on. I know that doesn't matter to either of you, Mill. It doesn't matter to you what happened in terms of injuries, correct?
In terms of injuries for the Knicks?
The question is in terms of injuries, in terms of playing the schedule, in terms of other teams getting injured, and Giannis may not. Who's to say Giannis comes back this series or go so forth? Obviously, the injuries doesn't matter to you; it just matter playing who's in front of you. Correct?
Yep, exactly.
I'm reading off these IG comments, so give me a second. So I got my boy DJ Webstar saying Knicks in 5. All right, I feel the same way. Sean Commodore, Knicks don't fear anybody. And in either conference, we have punched on the best teams when our core is out there. Philly's going to have problems with us. We have a scorer in Brunson and 3 bigs who are physical, and we'll have Embiid tired. OG is going to be our dark horse. So 3. What?
Great comment.
3 bigs. Yeah. Oh, they count. Who they counting as their big? Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson. Who's their 3rd big? They counting Precious as their 3rd.
Probably Precious. Yeah.
Precious is big.
I mean, you got Sims too, but he's kind of every big. You got 4.
Yeah, I forgot about Sims. The 3. You right. Full 3. You right. Yeah. I forgot. Sims is sitting on the end of the bench, like, yo, I'm ready. I got 6 fouls. Let's go.
Yep.
That's a good point, though. I mean, Embiid looked really, really tired out there, exhausted. Yeah. I really don't think he can sustain a 6-7 game series if it gets to that with us.
Yeah. I want to rewind a little bit, and I'll get back to Philly in a second. So, Mill, I know I met you at the Garden like last month. You were telling me you're in your early 20s, right?
Yeah, I'm 20.
All right, so yeah, so when did your fandom of the Knicks really start? Because the last time I saw this team in the conference finals was 2000. Last time I saw them in the NBA finals was 1999, and that was as the fucking 8th seed. So when did your fandom start with the Knicks begin? Was it like 2010, 11, 12, something like that?
It was, I would say the first time I like really took notice of them was when Linsanity happened. I was really interested in that whole phenomenon. Like the first piece of Knicks merchandise I personally owned was a Linsanity jersey. So that's when I really took, my interest. And then I really started paying attention with that 2012, 2013 team. I mean, obviously that was a great team. So it was a really great year to start really watching the Knicks and see them win 50 plus games. And, I love that team so much because that team has so many memorable players for us. Of course, Carmelo Anthony, a lot of guys, J.R. Smith, everyone on there. And watching that team, it also made me want to personally get into basketball. So that's really when I started playing basketball too myself. So yeah, I have a lot of love for the 2010 Knicks, and that's really 2011, 2012, 2013 is really when I started paying attention.
This is a 2. Yeah, Randy, it's two teams in this city. Am I bugging, Randy? There's 2 teams in this city. Randy's like, which one? I don't know. Which one? I don't know. She said,
the team you used to be a fan of, Brooklyn. All right, that team, yeah. All right.
The New Jersey Nets?
New Jersey, that's wow.
Yeah, Yeah, the New Jersey Nets. Why did you decide to why the Knicks as opposed to the Nets?
Oh, the Nets were. I mean, when did the Nets become the Nets? When did they go to Brooklyn? Like 2010?
Oh,
12, I think. Yeah, I think 2012.
2012 around there. Yeah.
Yeah, the Nets were not even in. They were not even an option because I grew up in a Knicks household. My dad is a huge Knicks fan, so that's how the story goes. I have to follow in his footsteps.
There you go. It's the influence. The blue and the orange just bleed hardcore throughout the family. That's why. That's the same thing with Randy too. His brother was the Knicks Bulls, a little slash. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think. Yeah, see, Randy think he's slick. He straddled the line between the Bulls and the Knicks, and then when the Bulls, tampered off, he jumped on the Knicks bandwagon. I see what you did, Randy. It's a good bit.
Oh, okay.
No, listen, I keep it 100. I tell everybody all the time who would ask, when did you become a Knicks fan? So I would say my fandom started in 1999 when they made a trade for Sprewell. I was a diehard Chicago Bulls fan, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Phil Jackson. And when they disbanded, I said I need a new team. So I didn't go to the San Antonio Spurs that won a championship the year after. I said, you know what? I love Spree in Golden State. He came on board the John Starks trade. And I said, you know what? I can Sprewell, Houston, Camby, Ewing, Larry Johnson. Okay. Now, this is before they made the finals run. They were the 8th seed. We had no idea where they were going to go. And they beat Miami, they beat Indiana, they beat Atlanta, and now they're in the finals. I mean, you know what? I can rock with this team. But, now you go to the 2000s and the 2010s is like, now you go a little decline. Like, oh, yeah, these rosters look crazy. I'm like, who are these guys? And why he's good.
100%.
And then you had the Carmelo years. Now we're on the uprise. And then when he left, we were back down, and now it's just like this. Now we're on the upward spiral trend the last couple of years, and I'm just happy. I'm ecstatic that we now have April basketball that means something in New York, potentially May basketball, and like Mill said, potentially June basketball here in the city. Come on, Denny and Blanco. You mean to tell me if there's an NBA Finals at the Garden, you ain't gonna try to go? Come on, man.
Mill, what did you do when it was like this? Because going like this is one thing, right? Because on the incline, that's great. I'm talking about when it was down. What did you do? Because I know what Randy was doing.
What was Randy doing?
Randy was pulling out his hair. He was running out into the streets, yelling for dear life. The Knicks are making my life miserable. He was having a hard time.
I mean,
I never went away.
Valid.
I never went away. I never say, I'm gonna go with the Lakers. I'm gonna go with LeBron. I'm gonna go with Durant. I'm gonna go with Warriors. I stayed where I was at.
Stuck with it.
Gotta ride it out.
That's what I'm asking. What did you do during those tough times? How did you get yourself to ride it out? Because I couldn't with the Nets.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Well, because I was so young. I mean, I was basically in 2010, I was 7. So I was really young from 2010, 20, let's say, 2019, let's say 2020 is when we started climbing back up.
Yeah.
So the really bad years, I really didn't mind it. And I think it was because I was a kid. I didn't care like that much that the Knicks were so bad. Any win that we got, even if it was 1 out of a 17 win season, I really cherished it. But it really didn't bother me that much. I mean, I remember watching so many bad games, but if a player I liked was scoring, and even if we were losing by 20, if we were losing by 30, if a player I liked scored a bucket, I'd just be happy at watching that. I had a few fan favorites in the 2010s, besides Melo and Porzingis, players you just look out to score in those garbage minutes. But anyways, I just, I rode with it.
No.
I was a kid. It was easy because life was easy. But I'm sure as you get older, you really depend on your sports teams to win. They're a huge part of your life. I feel that way now as well.
So Mel, you're born and raised in New York, right?
Yeah, Queens, New York.
Okay, so does that
Queens in the house.
Queens in the house? So are you a Met fan, Yankee fan? Neither. Giants, Jets? Which one?
I'm a Giants fan. I
Okay.
used to be a huge Giants fan. I just kind of have fallen off the past few years. Like of course I still watch every game, but I'm not like too intact with it. But I mean, huge when I was little. Baseball though, I I'm not that into baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I recently got into it like I would say like 2 years ago. Um, I guess I'd have to pick the Mets. I am from Queens.
That's
I
right.
feel like that's more suitable. And I mean, the Yankees are such a good organization. I don't want to bandwagon that. I don't want to
You,
do that. And
you're right.
I'm gonna stick with the Mets. Ride it, and see if we can finally win a World Series one day.
See, I
So with
respect that.
I mean, another one.
yeah, so with Dennis being a former Net fan, if he wants to bandwagon on with us and say I'm ride or die, orange and blue, let's go Knicks, would you accept him on the bandwagon or would you like kind of push him off?
Uh,
We
as a
gotta throw
former Net,
ideas
you know
out there.
what? I don't know if you want to do that, but I would let you do that because the
All right.
Nets, they're they're not that great, and I wouldn't
Mm,
be mad if you felt like you wanted to watch better basketball. So that's
yeah.
okay.
It's
See,
all
Dennis,
about better
you got room for it.
basketball. It's all about better basketball. I don't mind, getting on a ship that's building momentum and going, going a full direction. But when you start going in a zigzag, that's when I have a problem. And then that's what I mentioned earlier. The Knicks had some zigzag years. Now the
Yeah.
Nets, unfortunately, just zigged and they should have zagged. Unfortunately, a couple times. And when you have no kind of control of your management and what the decisions are,
Mm,
the team that you thought was going to be one way is completely different. And what are you going to do? Still think that your team's going to be the same and you're going to ride the wave? No, the team's completely different. It's a whole refresh. It doesn't even the team wasn't even there. So don't
yeah.
let Randy fool you. I didn't just jump off a speeding bullet that was going to the final. I jumped off a boat that was on fire that was playing music in the background.
No, but listen, but Mill, I'm gonna tell you how he got on the boat anyway. They
Okay.
would tell me if he's a fair weather fan or not. Never in my life did this guy praise New Jersey Nets kid, Kenny Anderson, Jefferson, Vince Carter, nobody. The day that Kyrie and KD signed the contract, he's like, "Yo, what?
Oh no.
I'm a Net fan." And then when they got Harden, we going to finals. And then when they left, I heard nothing since. Nothing since.
Okay, that's wild. That's wild. That's wild. The day they signed, I mean, the day they get KD and Kyrie,
No, it
that's when
wasn't the
you know
day they
there's
got Kate.
nothing.
No, honestly, it was the day they got Harden, where there was a party. It was pandemonium. I was
Mhm.
calling Randy. Randy wasn't picking up his phone. he was upset. He thought they were going to the finals at one point. He really did. But as things turn out, injuries, different thought process, different changing of strategies of management, and here we are. So moving forward, I will represent a team that's been playing since college days, a team that seems like it has an identity,
Mhm.
a team that seems to have a solid foundation at the coach, a team that all around seems to have a positive outlook on every game. They just seem to. Is there any game that you think, Mill, that you're afraid that the Knicks may not make a comeback? Like, are leads ever a question for you?
Uh well, that's really interesting because a game, one particular game before the regular season ended, the Knicks went down. I'm forgetting who the opponent was, but I wasn't worried at all. It was the Nets. It was the Nets. I believe that was the second to last game of the season. We went down by maybe 15 early in the first quarter, so it was early. And I wasn't worried. I was watching the game with my family. Everyone else is like, they're pulling my strings. They're like, why are the Knicks down? Like, what's happening? And I wasn't worried because when it's that early on, you have so much time. And then I remember, bad teams don't hold their leads. So, of course, the Knicks were going to climb back. I always think every single team in this league has a chance to climb back. Not just the Knicks, but I do trust the Knicks at making a comeback. Most, nine times out of 10, anyone in this league has the ability to do. I mean, of course, with the 3-point shot, you can cut a lead down that quick. So, it could be light work for some teams. But I do think the Knicks can handle that.
You mentioned, so that's very interesting. I usually have those kind of basketball conversations, so I'm going to have them with you. You mentioned kind of like no lead is ever safe in the NBA. Sounds like you just said that, right? And my fight to that when I hear that, the ringing in the back of my ear, the NBA whisper, the ringing that goes on is, I think it's a combination of offensive, teams that are great at 3-point shooting. That's one thing. But I think it's a combination of also teams are terrible with having leads.
Yeah.
They don't understand. It seems as if, for example, Boston goes up 25, and then it's like, all right, I think it's time to take 75 threes. Just straight. No layups.
Yeah, that's true.
No fast break points. No free throws. Straight threes. And then we're looking up like why is the other team up 10 in like 3 minutes? You're right. They're up 10 in 3 minutes because they covered the lead and then they went up because this team is now super cold. Do you think that's a little bit of a combination of both or just, offensive threes?
Oh, I agree. It's definitely a combination of both. It has to be. A lot of times you see when a team has a very large lead, they tend to lose it when their offense gets so stagnant. And they take, like you said, they just start chucking up a lot of threes that they have very poor shot selection in those minutes, whatever that stretch is. And that tends to be why they lose their lead, is because they're not producing on the offensive end when they should be. They should be taking better shots. Like you said, drive to the basket, ball movement, whatever it is. I mean, shot selection is huge, especially when you have a lead. You have to continue to play smart.
While we wait for Randy to get back, please plug your information. I want folks to know where to go to find you and just basically pull up all your content. Please share that information right now.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So you guys can find me on Instagram, mill.media. You guys know I'm a Knicks fan. I rep it right here. So most of my videos and posts are about the Knicks. But I will definitely try to venture out and post more NBA content, especially with the playoffs coming around, and just do general NBA videos with the matchups. But on Twitter, it's Mill Sports Media. It's a little bit different. We had the sports in the middle. Mill Media was taken, so had to do something.
you definitely gotta be. Yeah, you definitely gotta be. You gotta use some tricks when it comes to social media and when you're getting some of these names. I feel you.
Yeah.
So we got that out the way. You obviously have no fear of anybody in the East. You're very confident in the Knicks and what they provide, even without Randall. Clearly, if this was a full roster, you'd be having a celebration right now on camera about the trip to the finals. But obviously, I'm just gonna pick your brain a little bit more in terms of Knicks hypothetically.
Yeah. For sure.
Get through this actual road and they see Denver. Now, what do you think they could possibly do with Denver?
This is tough. I mean, reigning champions, and they have a bona fide superstar on their team, the Joker, who is incredible. It's really difficult to stop someone like that. So you don't stop him, but you try to contain him. And Isaiah Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson, we have a few big guys. We mentioned it earlier. They can't fully stop him. but I think that they are very well defenders. They're great defenders. They proved that all season. I mean, Mitch went down early on, but Isaiah Hartenstein stepped up and has been huge ever since. I definitely think that they could try to contain him. And again, against the Denver Nuggets, we're super undersized, which really concerns me. They have a bunch of taller players. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., just everyone on that team is pretty much taller than the Knicks. And without Randall, that hurts too, because he's one of our taller guys as well. So we have a lot of small guards on our team. Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. We have to find a way to make it work around those taller players. And that's a difficult problem, because you can't, just grow and just be taller. So they have to just find a way to make it work. I mean, that's a huge issue. I'm just concerned about if we do make it all the way there.
For me, I would say the strategy would be to just go big and call it a day. You'd have to probably go big. You'd have to probably go, obviously, JB, Jalen. You'd probably go OG. You'd probably have to go Hartenstein, and Mitchell Robinson. You have to get a big front line to fight that length.
Yeah.
Because
one thing I remember, I believe the last time we played them, it seemed like we were more undersized, I think, because OG wasn't on the court. So he definitely will help with that.
Yes, definitely. Randy, listen. The party's just begun.
Listen, there was a lot going on. I think me trying to go live on IG was a bad mistake, because that kind of fucked up my Wi-Fi. But I should be good now.
No IG from now on. Go for it. No IG from now on.
No.
No IG. Go for it.
So I was trying to follow on my phone what you guys talking about. I might have skipped a couple of things, but I do want to get into. I'm not sure if Dennis asked you this.
No, go ahead, please.
We seen like a lot of people get into this media space, young, old, whatever, male, female, covering a whole entire sport or just one team. But I think seeing what you've been able to do as a young female in this game, me and Dennis are fans from afar, and you put out some great content. I think the one TikTok video you put recently got like 1 million views going on with OG, not ducking no smoke and everything. So I want to ask, like, what made you want to get into this space, primarily with the Knicks, and like how has it been going for you so far?
I mean, first of all, thank you. Those are very kind words. And, I love the content you guys put out. I mean, I met you personally, Randy. You're a super nice, kind guy. What made me want to get into it? I mean, really, I just started it as a little bit of a hobby, something to do for fun. I didn't think it would be this serious, where I'd be doing like live streams and talking about this with other people. But I really just started posting to meet other Knicks fans. A lot of my friends, they're not necessarily Knicks fans or watch basketball at all. So I really wanted to connect with more fans, see what they're thinking, have conversations with them. And I've honestly had so many conversations with fans over the past, I don't even know how long I started, but maybe like a year or two ago. So I'm really glad that I've met so many people, from starting that. And, then I've been a Knicks fan for a while now, since around 2011, 2012. So that's really why I wanted to post Knicks content, is because I'm a fan of them. I'm passionate about them. I'm passionate about them more than any other sports team. So I figured, why not?
So have you got to the point where when you go to a game, like people just recognize you? Oh, that's Mill from TikTok. Oh, that's Mill from IG. Have you got to that point yet?
I only been to, I think, 4 games on the season. Okay. But yeah, I have had some people stop me and say like, oh, like I've seen your videos before, which is It's pretty cool, honestly. Like I never ever thought, like in a million lifetimes, that I'd be where someone recognizes me something like that.
Nice. Then before you go ahead, Chicago is up 9 in the second quarter, 60-51. Go ahead.
Chicago.
Chicago Bulls, baby, the Bulls.
Chicago. During the year, I did a video just recently about the receipts, about the confusion that folks have about Jalen Brunson. What is it about Jalen that, for you anyway, Mill? What is it about Jalen that folks just they don't respect him? It seems as if the players respect him, but the media overall seems like they're not really respecting his place, especially this season. What say you?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea where the disrespect comes from. I really don't. After having such a great season last year, especially turning it on, especially after the new year 2023, I believe he was averaging, over 25 a game after 2023 started, and in the postseason, incredible. And then you just have these big media outlets, national media outlets, disrespecting him on national television. I don't know where it comes from, why we have to say all of that about him. We know he is a shorter player than most, but referring to him being as too small is just crazy. He's not too small. He's averaging nearly 29 a game. He's not too small. He's just. I
Say
wish
it
I could
again,
answer your
Mill. Say it
question.
again. 29 a
Yep.
game, bro. 29.
And it's crazy because Randy, I don't know if you remember, the game where he went down against the Cavs. It was only a minute in. Do you remember that game? And
Yeah.
he left with a minute in. They counted that game in his, obviously, with his other game. So if they took that game out, which he only played one game in, he'd be averaging over 29. So it just sucks that game had to be included, which he only played 1 minute and didn't have any points in. But yeah, it's wild to witness the disrespect, but that's why we do what we do, so we can actually tell people how good he is. Knicks content creators, this is why we push that out, because national media doesn't want to.
Mill,
I think
Danny,
Mill.
before you go,
Go ahead.
to land the plane, and then you can take it off. Randy, Mill, I think you want the media to continue to do this. I really do. You know why I do? Please, allow me, please, because Denny Blanco here. I like people with chips on their shoulder. Okay, your man Jalen Brunson came over with a chip already. Okay, then they're gonna call him short. They're gonna say he's not an A1 player. They're gonna say he can't take his team to the finals by himself. Let them keep saying that. That's going to be fuel for the fire. Randy, fuel for the fire. Randy with the bobblehead.
It's wild to me because there's a few other players in this league who are around his same height. Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, who are really great players too. And when the media talks about them, or when national media outlets talk about them, they don't refer to them being as too small. I haven't heard that really at all. So why does it have to be Brunson is too small? He can't lead a team when clearly he did. He is doing that right now. He's leading these Knicks, an injured, shorthanded Knicks. He did it for half the season when we were without Mitchell Robinson, without OG, without Julius Randle. I can't emphasize it enough that he is really our MVP right now. He is our 1A. A lot of fans felt that he couldn't be the 1A of this team. They felt we do need someone else. It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt having another guy who can help us get there. But I really do think he has been the 1A this season.
And I think, to your point, before we wrap up, I think people, in the media, not everybody, but some in the media just can't really fathom or come to grips that the Knicks are a better team nowadays. I think the days and the times of saying a comment about the Knicks or shitting on them, they're not a good franchise, they don't have a good team, and there's always Knicks on the negative side. And I think the last couple of years, post-pandemic, the Knicks have been on an upward spiral where they are a better team, better organization. It's positive vibes when you go to the Garden. It's multiple playoff appearances, and I think people just can't really understand that, and they want to go back to the old ways of saying, "Oh, the Knicks didn't make the playoffs," but you know what? First round exit. Brunson's too small. You know what? I don't think they have enough. Or like Kenny Smith says, "Oh, is he the second best player on the floor?" No, he's not. And I'm like, I guess we're seeing a different Jalen Brunson because the guy that I'm looking at is, you mentioned 29 a game, should be all first team NBA, definite MVP conversation. If they might go with Shea Gilgeous or Joker, I don't know why, but I understand SGA. But Brunson is proving a lot of people wrong in the media, some fans out there as well. So just seeing him with that shoulder, like Denny said, keep it going, because that's extra fuel to the fire and extra motivation for him and his team.
Yep. I mean, what you said is so true. NBA casual fans will just say the Knicks are the Knicks. You highlighted a comment earlier that said Philly in 6, I believe, and it said it's the Knicks. Like, it's the Knicks. Like, I can't deal with those comments. I experienced so many of them on my social media accounts. Casual fans just commenting, the Knicks suck. Mm-hmm. Are you watching the NBA this season? Are you watching the Knicks this season? They just got 50 wins. A 50-win team does not suck.
Yeah.
Second seed.
Second
seed with your all NBA player, with one of your all NBA players going down, second seed. This team is legit. They're not to be messed with. And I try to call it right down the middle. I try to call it right down the middle. Randy will try to pull me in every time. And I'm like, no. I'm not trying to do it. No.
Yeah, you gotta reel you in.
I call it straight down the middle. So I try to be honest with my Knicks fans, whether it's trades, whether it's if they're doing well. And I've been honest with him, and he'll tell you when they're doing bad, I've been honest with him, and when they're doing well, I've been honest with him. That's what you get with me, okay, guys. I'm not just you see, Randy, you paint a picture that I just jumped ship. That's not true. I'm the NBA whisperer, baby. I know it all. It's everybody. I love the Knicks and I love the Nets and I love everyone else as well. But this playoffs is going to be off the chain.
Yeah. Mel, before I let you go, so let's talk about real quick this series. So the Knicks and Philly play 4 times in the season. Knicks 3-1 in the regular season. Obviously, it's a different game in the playoffs, but realistically, I know you had the Knicks winning, but how many games you see this series going?
I'll probably say Knicks in 6. I got to give Philly their credit. They're supposed to be a top team in the East, obviously because of injuries, because Joel Embiid missed a lot of time. They fell down, and now they're the 7th seed. So I'll give them some credit. I don't think it's a sweep, but I think it might go 6.
Denny Blanco, I think he went 5. Knicks in 5.
We got 5, baby. Unfortunately, we got one knee. We got Tyrese Maxey. He's gonna have to do a lot of work. We got Nicholas Batum. They should start him and sit Tobias. That's neither here nor there. Yeah. They don't have enough. They do not have enough, unfortunately. So we're gonna see the Sixers again. Next season. We're gonna get the wait. Oh, my fishing rod's upstairs. My fishing rod. We're gonna get some fishing going. We're gonna get Cancun. What time's nice this year? We got Cancun, where we got Portugal, Brazil, Tulum, Mexico. Mexico. Yeah. We're gonna get all the margaritas situated for the Sixers in 5. You want to give them extra 2 games, but I wanted to also say, Mel, the Knicks cannot play with their food. If they're trying to move ahead, they cannot play with their food. They have to beat people as soon as they possibly can and move on to the next series.
Yeah, I mean that'll make it easier on them too.
My second to last question: any other matchups you're looking forward to aside from the Knicks, Mil?
I mean, this should definitely. I mean, I think it'll be somewhat competitive if Philly doesn't look full strength out there because Joel Embiid still looks exhausted. But I think it still should be somewhat competitive. Who would we face in the next round if we beat the Sixers?
Milwaukee or Indiana?
The Bucks. The Bucks or Indiana, baby. The new Indiana Fever Pacers.
Right.
That should be interesting. Who do you guys take winning that series?
Uh,
You said you said Indiana, right?
Indiana. I think we both said I know I said Indiana has the potential to beat Milwaukee. And this is before the Giannis news came out, which kind of extra adds on to what I'm saying because they played them well in the season. They played them well in that tournament early on. So they kind of had their number. They got a little thingy going on with the Giannis breaking the record. They took the ball away from them. So there's a little thing going on. So I would say Indiana. If Giannis is playing the whole series, I would say Indiana in 7. But if Giannis does not play game 1, game 2, I think they're in trouble.
That's true. They need him.
Quite frankly, if I were Bucks fans, I'd just be like, listen, we don't have Giannis for the rest of the playoffs. Don't even expect him here because injuries abound. You never know how long an injury takes to heal, and then re-aggravation.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. So these guys are not getting a lot of rest in the next month. They're not. So pay mindful attention of that injury.
Thank you, Dre. Knicks in 6. All right.
That's what I like to hear.
We know the vibes.
See, let's see no 5s. Come on, bro. What's wrong with this guy?
73-67 Chicago at half. Wow, high scoring in this game.
No, it's not high scoring. It's not playing defense. Randy, I was talking to Mill earlier during our commercial break, and I was speaking, and I was saying, I was asking how we had a conversation yesterday about no lead is safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it's a combination of both, and we both agreed. It's a combination of both. It's not just NBA players can hit threes now in a large volume in a short period of time. True, but it's terrible offensive selection when it comes to shots and time selection with the ball. Randy, do you not agree?
No, you're right, because we had a Robin Lundberg on last night. The one that I recall the most is when Boston was up against Atlanta, back-to-back games on the road, up by 25, smoking them. Then after a while, you look up, oh, Atlanta's winning. Oh, they actually won this game. Oh, it's a $130 on the board. Like, oh, what's going on? Back-to-back games, they lost both games, and they were up by 25 plus. I'm like, oh, so, okay. But it's like Boston does so well out the gate. They score, but it's like when we try to finish it off and wrap it up.
What was that stat I read? What was that stat, Mel? There was before we let you go. Also, there was this one night we were potting. It's in the game podcast. We were potting, and I heard a stat. I think the stat came from Windhorst, Brian Windhorst, about Boston Celtics. I told him the stat, and I was like, I said, I feel warm and fuzzy for you Knicks fans, and I'm gonna tell you why. And he said why with his gruffy great face. Why? I said, bruv, the Boston Celtics are number 1 in offensive pace in the first quarter. They're the first in the NBA in offensive pace. They end up dead last in the 4th. Wow. I said, that tells me everything I need to know.
Wow.
3 quarters of work, good pace. 4th quarter, dead last in pace. 4th quarter. I said, that's something that the Knicks should pay attention to.
They should. And I definitely feel, do you know where the Knicks rank on that? I'm not sure, but I feel like we're a team who can definitely gain momentum in the 4th quarter. I've seen a lot of games this season where we do gain a lot of momentum. And we've had huge 4th quarters where we outscore our opponents.
Yeah, you guys definitely you definitely come back from leads now and you sustain leads because you have chemistry from players that have been playing since they've been babies. Right. It's a cheat code.
Right. And
it really is a cheat code.
Like you said last night, just having Brunson, Dante, and Josh Hart, just having that chemistry from college. now to the pros on the same team really goes a long way because we've seen them win before. And when everybody fully healthy on the same circle, like that's a tough roster. Josh Hart is a double guy now. Dante's, a flat out 3-point shooter, and Brunson is Brunson. So I'm looking forward to the series. I know Saturday. Are you going to any playoff games, Mill, or not yet?
I haven't purchased any tickets yet. I might go to a watch party, the first one, and then I'll see.
Nice. Yeah, Denny, I think Knicks Fan TV is doing one that
they
day.
have one.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of Knicks friends that invite me places because they feel bad for me. So they invite me to watch parties and they send me tickets, and I show up to give them that energy that they need. Don't get it twisted. I show up and I show out for the team.
So if you do go to one, what's the fit? You got a hat, you got a jersey, you bringing the Timbs out. What we got going on? What we got?
Yeah, Mel. I know Mel's gonna have her Knicks hat on, and obviously,
of course,
Knicks hat in the outfit, I imagine, right?
Jersey, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't thought about an outfit yet. I mean, I have a new Knicks jacket, but I already wore that to the last game of the season, and I don't really like wearing it again so soon, but maybe a jersey.
Yeah, listen, Randy. I don't want to annoy you by wearing my Kevin Durant Nets jersey that I purchased for my birthday while I was at a game. Now it's hanging in my closet, collecting dust.
So you have a throwback then? You got a throwback. Yeah, throwback.
I don't even feel confident wearing this throwback. I'd rather wear Isaiah Thomas's Pistons throwback at Orchard Beach with Jordans on than wear Kevin Durant's New Jersey Brooklyn Nets jersey.
Listen, I want to thank you, Denny Blanco. I want to thank you, Mill, for coming on. We're gonna be doing this tomorrow as well. I believe Friday night, just kind of gear up for the playoffs and get back on it. I believe Sunday, probably just every day, probably not Saturday, obviously, but probably just about every day, recapping some games, some series. So you're more than welcome to come on again. At some point in time, but this has been fun. So they could follow you on the social media at Mill Sports Media, right? On Twitter, right?
Yeah, on Twitter it's Mill Sports Media, and on Instagram it's mill.media.
Yeah, we're gonna hijack that other person to get that link. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hijack them. Don't even worry about it. There you
go. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the game on Saturday. I know we'll probably catch up soon at a game, hopefully in the playoffs. So thank you again for coming on.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
I know. I had a great conversation. I'll see you guys again.
Likewise.
Yes.
So that wasn't bad, right, Denny Blanco? Wasn't bad. Got the Knicks, got Philly. You got official spot now. We got
everything we needed. We got everything we needed to put up there. We're good money.
Yeah, I'm still live, by the way. So I wanted to say thank you to the 2,000 plus people that either tapped in, chimed in, all the questions. Even my boy Hector on IG saying Philly in 6. So
God bless. We'll take his money too.
Later on, at Sir Denny Blanco on all social media channels, at Randy J. Cruz on all social media channels. It's in the game. Oh, lucky I didn't go off. So Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler is feared to have an MCL injury in his knee. Injury could sideline Jimmy for an indefinite period. MRI to come. So
he's going for the playoffs. The way he was walking on that John, well, he got injured. What, first quarter? First half. First half he didn't come back.
Yeah.
First half he didn't come back after that, right?
No. Oh no, he played.
He played like third. Like it's just, like I know because he caught that steal. He caught that steal, and then after that it was just like
yeah.
So
damn. I mean, we never want to see anybody get hurt, especially a guy like Jimmy. So we want to see everybody fully healthy for the playoffs. But him, Embiid is 50-50. Giannis is out. Like, Randall's out. Like, oh my God, come on, man. Like, I want to see everybody healthy out there, bro.
Hey, just like the Lakers had to win that bubble ring. Ring counts in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
If the Knicks happen to win a ring, whether it's in,
I'm taking it. I'm wearing it right here.
You think people look like I'm supposed to be sitting back hearing people be like,
No.
after you beat the Denver Nuggets, right? It's like, you did it with Giannis not being healthy.
Oh well.
Joel Embiid wasn't healthy.
I mean, people are going to say anything because, like, you could say, oh well, like the Warriors, if Kyrie and Kevin Love played in the 2015 finals, they could have been 100% right. But I'm a Knicks fan, and if we happen to win a championship, and there's an injury to somebody on other teams, oh well, I'm gonna take it. I'm put the ring like Green Lantern on my finger, and we out of here. We out of here, bro. 7th Avenue will be crazy.
It's gonna be live without a question. It's gonna be live.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be hectic. But I think Knicks got this one in the first round, and we'll see what happens from there. But Philly gonna be a tough out regardless. You got the MVP in the roster, respectfully. Got All-Star and Tyrese Maxey. So we'll see what happens. But we got some All-Stars on our team too. So I feel pretty confident against Philadelphia.
It's gonna be a respectful 5-6 games, and it's gonna be a nice drive down the I-95. You heard.
Denny Blanco, don't want to keep up your time. Again, at Sir Denny Blanco on Twitter, IG, TikTok, at Rainy J Cruz on Twitter, IG, and TikTok. Follow the podcast on youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. If you're still watching on the Twitter, it's right there. Also on TikTok at It's in the Game Pod. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. We'll be back tomorrow night. There's no games tomorrow night, so probably around 8:30 we'll get rocking and rolling. If you got any questions or feedback, we would love to hear from you. So for myself, Randy Cruz, Denny Blanco, It's in the Game Podcast. We out.
It's in the game, you heard?
Yes, sir.